If you don't deal with stress, stress will deal with you. If you don't deal with trauma, trauma will deal with you. Many times people don't even know they're under stress, or they don't know they're going under some kind of traumatic experience, like post-traumatic stress disorder, things that happen to you and it really caused trauma in your life, or something that's stressing you. Stress is beyond worry. Worry is like, okay, that's pretty normal. But when that worry becomes stress, that on and on and on and every day, wake up in the morning type thing, something happens to your mind, body, and spirit. Okay. In 2014, I was diagnosed with vitiligo. I'm going to read you the definition of what vitiligo is, and I'm also going to share with you the reasons they think it happens to a person. Okay? Put my glasses on for this. Okay. Vitiligo is a long-term skin condition that causes patches of skin to lose their color and turn white. It happens when the body's immune system attacks and destroys the melanocytes, the melanin in the body, okay, which are the cells that make the melanin, okay, the coloring in your body. Key signs and symptoms: white patches, common location. It often starts on the hands, feet, arms, legs, and lips. Okay, mine started on my fingers. The first time I noticed it, it was on my finger, and now, it's on my hands and, neck, top of my head, face, back, legs, blah, blah, blah. Okay? White hair growing in the infected area may turn white or silver. Mouth and nose. Okay, so my nose has just, all these things just developed here lately, like the face situation developed just this year. Okay, get back to that in a minute. Causes and triggers. Autoimmune response, that's one cause. The immune system mistakenly targets pigment making cells. Okay, autoimmune response, that's your immune system. Cool. Genetics. It often runs in families. Okay. I've never known anyone in my family to have vitiligo. The immune system targets pigment making cells. Okay, that's pretty typical because your body has a defense mechanism that fights for it. Fights for you. Okay, and the next one is can be set off by severe sunburn, stress, or contact with certain chemicals. Okay. It's not contagious. You cannot catch vitiligo from another person. Okay. So now, being that I'm an alternative therapist, okay, I kind of like, research and dive into myself to find out exactly what I was doing at the particular time that this thing started happening. And then, it'll stop. And then certain times it'll start to increase again. So one of the things I discovered was that when it first started on my fingers and my hands, that's when my son got locked up. He did something, and that's not what the conversation about what he did. He got his own website, Wall Street Gorilla, King Muhammad, got some books out and all that kind of stuff. Shout out to my son. But anyway, one of the things that I noticed that when I went back to research my history, because that's what you do when you're diagnosing someone. You research their history, their family. You do your narrative situation. Okay, so my son got locked up, and that's when it first started. All right, that's when it started, and it was pretty much contained for a little while. Okay, and then in 2023, it started again. It started again. That was the passing of my mother. Okay. Yeah. So that's when it started to increase on my legs. Because if you look at some of my photos before 2023, you'll know that there were no signs of vitiligo. And if you look before 2015, you'll know that there are no signs of vitiligo anywhere on my body. Okay. And so this last episode, which is on my face now, was in 2000 and this year, 2026. I just developed all this on my face, and it's like going crazy with me now. My lips and everything. I'm like, wow, what's going on with my lips? And my cheeks, and my nose and so forth. That's when I did a major move from Savannah, Georgia to Maryland. Okay, so I'm saying all this to say this. You may not know that you're stressing about something, but your body, your spirit knows. You can go on day to day doing what you do, and working, taking care of the family, eating healthy, doing all the right things. But at the end of the day, if you don't take note of that stress that's going on inside of you, it can do some damage. Okay, some people have heart attacks, some people have strokes, some people just numb themselves to drugs and sex and things like that. What did I do? Well, I just woosah'd a little bit. I woosah'd, and I noticed that I didn't do the things that I normally did as far as my routine is concerned, because there were disruptions. There was disruptions in the flow, the cycle of me doing those things because of what was happening on the outside of me. And so that stuff that was happening on the outside of me, okay, that's cool. That's a given, okay? It was affecting the stuff that was going on inside of me. My autoimmune system started attacking, all right, because I was under severe stress. So now, things could have been a lot worse, okay? However, because I practice the things that I do, the therapies I do, the sweet tree experience, mind you, healing through color, movement, breath, sound, and things of that nature. Um, and word, affirmations, word, okay, writing, my books and so forth. I was able to hold myself up as much as I could, mentally, okay, spiritually, but my body was still attacked, by this thing. So I would like to say to you that even if you're going under stress on a day to day basis, and most of us do, there are things you still need to do for yourself to keep yourself on point with trying to maintain balance, okay? Because that's what it's all about, trying to maintain balance. I lost my balance, when my son got locked up, okay? That was a hard thing to deal with, okay? I lost my balance when my mother passed, my mommy passed in 2023, and I still have to, maintain and deal with that every day. Grief is grief. And also, when I moved, I did this major move at my big age, okay? So that was like very stressful, very, very stressful, the whole process, the whole journey. Even though I embraced the journey, and it's not about this, it's not about that, it's just go with the flow. Yeah, right. But at the end of the day, you still, can accumulate stress and don't know you're doing it. And it stays inside. And at the end of the day, it can attack you in some kind of way, be it vitiligo, be it heart attacks, be it strokes, headaches, overeating, sex, drugs, things of that sort. So with the sweet tree experience, you experience the sun, water, earth, and air way of healing. And to maintain that, you have to do something on a daily basis. Okay. So I have books out. I have a website. I also have a YouTube channel that's called The Sweet Tree Experience. My website is ladyraw.net. Okay, so, dive into some of the books. My latest book is called Sweet Tree Reflections. It's a good book. It's a good book because it lets you know that you can just pause for a moment, whether it's day or night, and write a reflection based on a prompt that's given to you. So I am Lady Raw, and I have so much more to say about this, but I'm going to cut it short right now. But go to my website, www.ladyraw.net, check it out, and find out about the Sweet Tree Experience. And I do have an app that will be available very soon, and I'm very happy about that. An app is going to be available really soon to help you to meditate and reflect and to breathe in color and things of that sort, because we need something, we need something. And sometimes we're not going to be home. Sometimes we're going to be traveling. Sometimes we're going to be on a date or something like that, and we need to step away to the bathroom like, oh God, am I really with this person? But anyway, take it easy and know your triggers and know how stress affects you. Okay, there was nothing I can do about this vitiligo, because that's how my body works. That's how my mind works, and it is what it is. If I turn all white, I am still Lady Raw. Okay, Rashida Sharif, and nothing will ever change that. Okay, because I am still who I am, and I will continue to do what I do. Peace and blessings.